What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2, Crown of the Sunken King. Today I'm going to be picking up where I left off last time, except hopefully without walking off of a very obvious ledge this time. So first we have to make our way back up the hill, first hitting that obelisk at the base of the hill. And you can afford to take a couple of stray arrow shots. Gonna try to avoid taking both of these at once while fighting this guy with the lance by hanging out over here behind the rubble. Oh shit! Oh god, double shit. I took the shield bash and it knocked me into line of sight of the archers. If you want to go through here taking as few stray arrows as possible, try to find yourself a good big hunk of rubble to just cower behind, take cover behind. There's one. Somehow I saw a short sword go. Oh, that time it didn't miss. I saw the first one's short sword go straight through my body and I didn't take damage. I won't complain about that though. A little bit of luck. May not have saved my life, but we'll still take it. So now we'll hit that one, and we should be good to go on getting across to the hidden bonfire over here. Yeah, so that one's raised up. Now we come back down to around the middle of the hill, close to the base of it, and we can hop on this building. I want to make sure I didn't walk off again. It screwed with my confidence. Now, I believe we have to shoot this one right over here, and that will raise the platform that we're on, and we'll have a handy little bridge to the bonfire. Also, you can see a couple of items on corpses on this platform. I believe it's a poison bite ring +1, and then there's another one on the lower level of that platform, which is just a short bow +7. All you really have to do is make a couple of drop downs to get to those. And I forgot I have to shoot this one again because I had already triggered this one my first time through here. So, there we go. Fourth time is a charm that'll raise the building directly behind where I'm facing. And now we have a bridge to activate this really well-hidden bonfire over here. And I don't want to teleport back anywhere just yet. I'm amazed that this bonfire is here. I'm not going after those shitty little items. Instead, I'll grab this and a shortcut. That's not much. But yeah, there is a shortcut down to the bridge where we saw Sin roast a couple of Sanctum Knights earlier, and it's right past these pots. Fuck your pots. So we'll drink up and should be... Yeah, there's... I think that's a Lance Knight or a Mace one. Yeah, it's a Sunken Knight with a mace. I somehow avoided the hit, but I took a lot of falling damage. Also, I'm pretty sure my plunging attack hit behind me. I didn't know the hitbox on the plunging attack extended behind you. Yeah, and we are right back down at the bridge leading into the Dragon Sanctum. Now, let's see. Because I'm running back here, the two Sunken Knights that were previously roasted by Sin are no longer nice and toasty. So we'll just take them out real quick. They're not too bad to deal with. Trying to show off how you deal with these knights properly and not just trading hits with them, even though I am doing the DLC late enough into the game, which is basically just after I've already defeated Nishandra and done all of the bonus episode stuff. I've already gone far out of my way for all that stuff, so I have plenty of not only Sublime Bone Dust to pump my Estus up, but I got all the Estus Flask shards, so I can just trade hits with the Sunken Knights and not worry too much about avoiding their hits. Nice thing about doing this DLC at the end of the game as opposed to just after the Rotten when you're first capable of actually going here. So now that Sanctum Knight is still a phantom, So I'm gonna head into the mausoleum once again to exact my revenge on the Sunken Knights in there, who once killed me and sent me on this little side trip. Which I guess I should thank. Oh, I'm 2 for 2 on that poisoning. I guess I should thank him because gave me an opportunity to go back doing the run back to show you how to activate that hidden second bonfire in Shulva. And there is one more bonfire in Shulva, but I'll show that off a little bit later. Oh, you're not getting me. I'm gonna run to the back of the room and hope he falls off, and if not, then I just have to deal with 3. Which isn't really that bad. I want to back up and not get shot in the spleen with crossbows. There we go. Ooh. Staggered though, guard broken. Just waiting for him to fire some bolts so I can go in. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that guy in the back did fall off. Yeah, I even have a couple thousand more souls. Oop. So there's a cool little detail about the Sanctum Knights that I haven't pointed out. It's... Oh, no. How am I alive? Oh, I got that magic pixel. Okay. Double up on the glug glug. Double down. Fuck. Okay, they both have their crossbows out. I like this. Even though I'm gonna eat a bolt. Yeah, good. I can finish him out before he's readying up an attack. Little lore detail about these guys. And I guess I should start with the history of the city before I go into what they are. So, Shulva was a kingdom built as a shrine to this old dragon, Sin, who we've now seen a couple of times. One day, a fellow by the name of Jorg invades Shulva with an army of his Drakeblood Knights, and they're obsessed with this idea that if they bathe in the blood of dragons, it will grant them some sort of power. So Jorg sets his eyes on Sin and his knights invade Shulva, and the Sanctum Knights of Shulva who guard the dragon Sanctum give up their bodies to guard the Sanctum against Jorg's Drakeblood Knights for eternity. That's what the bodies in this mausoleum are. They're the body of the Sanctum Knights who sacrificed their bodies to guard the Sanctum eternally. As very tough phantoms. Now, though, you might have noticed we picked a key up back there. That key unlocks the door at the base. Whoops! Forgot about you. That key unlocks the door at the very beginning of the Dragon Sanctum. And that leads to an entirely optional area, by the way. It seems like it's the obvious way to progress forward, but it's not. The progression path is actually down this hallway that I'm in. That switch that I just shot is one that many people will probably wind up missing. That switch opens up a door just up this ladder and in front of me. First, you jump the gap, it opens that door on the other side of the gap. Whoops! And through that door lies another really well-hidden bonfire. This one, I believe, is the second of the Dragon Sanctum. So now we have some well-hidden bonfires out of the way. There's still an item over here. Was that the Sanctum crossbow? Yeah. And the Sanctum crossbow is the same repeating triple bolt crossbow that you see the... Whoa, God, missing that jump almost got me landed in a pit. Oops! It's the same crossbow you see these guys occasionally pull out. It's pretty nasty, too. It's a little bit like Avalon. We'll deal with you with a backstab. So now I have the Sanctum key, I have the mausoleum cleared out, I have all the phantoms returned to their human forms. And I have a couple of new bonfires to warp around to, or to respawn at if need be. Oh, wait, I guess I didn't get all of the bodies because there's still that phantom. He's not going to be too much of a problem, though. I'm going to need to unseal the door over on my right to do anything, but first, I'm gonna come up here and deal with this caster one more time and kind of clear this upper floor out, so I can get not getting poisoned again, so I can get a better lay of the land. So these spikes don't hurt you as much as you think. They will hurt you whenever you walk over them. What do I want to do about this phantom? I think I'm just gonna grab all the items before I open up the door. Human effigy. I don't think there's anything too important on the spikes. He has triggered! Was hoping I would roll out of the way in time. Luckily, I'm not dead. Ooh. He's gonna follow me around a little bit, so I'm gonna kite him around. Wait for a chance to heal. Okay, there he is. We'll just play Ring Around the... Oh, he hit me through the wall. Play Ring Around the Rosie. These phantoms take so little damage that it's not even worth my time to fight them. Hitting that switch will open the door in the back up. And you actually need to open that up. And while the phantoms distract, I'll go over and grab the torch and the spikes. You actually need to open this door up, and you need to get the item from inside this chest in order to finish the DLC. It seems like it's just something... Oh, yeah. It seems like it's just going to be something that, you know, is a little optional reward for going through all this effort and opening this hidden door up. Or, I mean, this hidden switch. Now we'll grab the item. That's the Dragon Stone, which we actually need to finish the DLC to access the 2 required bosses for the DLC. So now that we have it, we're actually going to go and not do the required critical path. We're actually going to go off the beaten path and fight the optional boss using the Sanctum key before we do anything else. So I'm going to run back to the Dragon Sanctum. See you in just a second. And we're back at the beginning of the Dragon Sanctum, and we're going to use that Eternal Sanctum key that we got in the Mausoleum to open up this door. Again, this leads to an entirely optional area. And right away behind the door, you have 2 of these casters to deal with. And... okay, not going to get hit again by that one. Also, lots of iron chests to open up. One of these has a really, really good ring. Which... is it? Yeah, this is the one. Lightning Clutch Ring. That Lightning Clutch Ring, especially for this build, happens to be very, very good because it increases all of your lightning damage. I don't know yet if that applies to your miracles, but since our Lightning Defender Greatsword does a great deal of lightning damage, that Lightning Clutch Ring is super good. I believe the rest of these just have dried roots. Yeah, various quantities of dried roots in here. And a Sanctum Priestess Tiara. Huh, that's another really interesting item. Let's check some of those descriptions out. Let's see. Lightning Clutch. Increases lightning attack. Ring depicting a hand grasping a stone. Increases lightning attack but reduces your physical defense. The origin of this ring is unknown, but its design suggests one of the darker deities. Effective use of this ring requires skill on the part of its wearer. And what about that tiara we just picked up? Sanctum Priestess Tiara. Tiara of the Eternal Sanctum Priestesses prevents effects that block spells, but lowers attunement. This tiara has been warped by poison, adding to its already peculiar design. It is said that the priestesses sang to preserve the dragon's deep slumber, but one wonders if a single phrase of their song ever reached the dragon's ears. So this indicates to you that the singing that we've been hearing, the almost Tower of Latria-like singing, has been coming from the priestesses that have been casting these hexes at us. Which makes a lot of sense, because if you notice, whenever they get line of sight on you, you stop hearing the song. Alright, now we can climb right up into an impending ambush up here, I think. Oh no, I think that might be the next floor. Yes, it is. I hear him skittering. This leads out into a giant intersection of hallways. And you can kind of get a glimpse of when the camera pans up off of the ladder. There's a bug right above you, and there are bugs on the ceiling on the left and the right. And once you enter right about the middle of the hallway, they all drop down. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, I ain't falling for your shit again. You are already dead. Okay. So we can either go up or we can follow the bridge over to another bonfire. Before we head to that bonfire, which is the path forward to the optional boss, we'll come up here for a little bit of treasure. Which looks like... I think this might be a dark greatsword or something? A Sanctum shield. I know there's a dark infused weapon around here somewhere. A mixture of mystical tree branch and sacred chime iron allows the shield to serve as a catalyst for miracles and sorceries. Most of the miracles and sorceries created in the Sanctum City were lost, but the quality of their armor and shield suggests highly advanced craftsmanship. So that is another shield that allows you to cast miracles and sorceries. And here you just get a nice view. Praise that sun. That's right. And you can actually see the entirety of Shulva that we went through from here, and that's the bonfire that we're heading towards. You can even see the bonfire that you start out at over there. You get a nice big view of everything that's going on here in Shulva. And we'll head back down. This time we can head across the bridge and continue on our way. But first, I want to... Oh man, this is such a hard choice. I think I'm gonna replace the Chloranthy ring, which would normally be unthinkable, but I want to mess around with the Lightning Clutch ring, and I can't think of anything else I want to take off, so... Ah! Wait a minute. I didn't notice his name before. Rock Shield Balder? It's a different spelling from the Balder Knights, though. Never mind. Thought there might be something more interesting to this guy than meets the eye. No. This isn't the worst Phantom. The spear makes him a little bit tough, but before we even bother fighting him... Oh, that was a bad reaction. Light that bonfire. Ah! Nope. Trying to get around to his back. To get a backstab off. Oops. Oh god, that's such a bad reaction to have, too. And he throws Lloyd's talismans at you. Come on. Do something. It looks like he was starting to... Oh, shit. Oh, shit!
Ah! After 10,000 years, I'm free!
That was the objectively incorrect way to react to that situation. I'm gonna run it back. Oh man, I am getting rocked by this DLC. I am so fucking free to this DLC. Yeah, that was not the right reaction. Because you see the guard break, you take the hit, and you're panicking, and you're mashing the roll button, and it's giving you just... It's letting you recover from the hit just in time for you to mash out the roll, just so he can recover and hit you again out of the roll. It's, Let me run back to the start of the bridge and then try to get him summoned. Oh, right, bugs. Try to get him to invade me again. I could skip this Phantom now that I'm spawning at the bonfire behind him. But fuck that. I want my revenge. Yeah, throw Lloyd's talisman at me. Why not? Put me to sleep like one of your mimics. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure the bugs will leash and go back to their original spots. Take a second to... Oh, man, that feels so good. Chucking that lightning bolt like Zeus. Yeah, that's more like it. As long as you are not... Oops! I'm doing that. As long as you're not mistiming your rolls, you're fine. Yeah, while you're down on the ground, I'll drink up. God damn it again. I have to not... Yeah. Luckily, it takes him a long time to throw that talisman as well. Oh, I want to finish it in style. Oh, whoa, he doesn't want to be finished. Okay. Okay, Rock Shield Balder. Alright, we have successfully taken on the threat. And that is certainly not the last time I'm gonna be dying in this episode, because... Oh, fuck the boss that is coming up. But before we go after that boss, we have an elevator to wait for, to bring us to some treasure again. While I'm waiting for this, someone in the comments for the first video reminded me of what the text on the Majula obelisk said, and now I can't believe that I had originally forgotten what it said. Before the DLC came out, the obelisk used to say nothing important. Except in the Portuguese version of the game, it said the giants crossed the seas perhaps to return home. Which is just one in a long line of things that has swung me pretty far in favor of the theory that Lordran and Dranglake are the same. You might remember a few months ago I swung back and forth a lot due to all the conflicting evidence for the theories. However, that one line, among other things, kind of puts me back in the Dranglake is Lordran camp. Because to me, that line reads like the giants fled Lordran at one point as the Age of Fire faded out and crossed the sea again and made their homecoming in pursuit of Vendrick. And while you can totally take that as non-canon, there's way more that has me convinced that I haven't gotten a chance to talk about in a video. For starters, there's the shattered Lord Vessel in the basement in Majula, and there's also the possibility that the skeleton in the basement is the player character from the first game, or at least one of the previous player characters, or chosen undead rather, from a previous cycle. This all points to Majula having been built upon the ashes of the kiln of the first flame, which might even mean the Farfire itself is the first flame. That's a distinct possibility. And that might even explain why it seems more important than normal bonfires. Why you can toss Sublime Bone Dust only in that one. The Sublime Bone Dust description makes a lot more sense to me that way. The soot and ash of saints who threw themselves into the far fire kindles your Estus by having you burn it in the far fire, which might be the first flame. And your Estus is itself fire. Still leaves me a little bit puzzled about the Throne of Want, though. I've kind of flopped back and forth a lot about what the Throne of Want is, even more so than the nature of Dranglaic debate. It seems like it's connected to the first flame somehow. It looks like a kiln. And some of the descriptions of it even make it seem like the kiln, but then where's the first flame if that's true? By the way, these red-eyed statues, notably different from previous ones. We've seen statues that may spit poison previously. These ones petrify you, which makes the drop down here, your first time coming down, one of the most panic-inducing rooms of the entire game. I know it's waiting for me down here, so I'm gonna pick off as much as possible. There are like 8 sunken knights down here in this huge cavern filled with statues that petrify you. It's not a pretty sight. It's not a simple, easy area. So I'm gonna thin the herd as much as I can before dropping down, which I think I may have done. There's still a lot waiting for me down here. The test, once you drop down into the lower cavern, is to keep calm, which is hard to do when you don't know what's coming, and when you finally see what is surrounding you down here. This cavern's awesome. The boss fight that's coming up is shit. But this is really good. You also have those lizards who are toting around statues. And this time, they're not toting around poison statues. They are mobile 360-degree turrets of petrification. And to top it all off, this cavern branches out into like 5 or 6 different dead ends before you actually figure out the path to the right one. To the right outlet, which is right down here. Drop down. There are a couple of things to deal with down here before you actually get to the thing that drives me fucking insane. There are a couple of more Sanctum Knights down here. Sunken Knights, Sanctum Knights. Let's clear out some of these statues because my petrification is pretty high. If you've forgotten what petrification does, by the way, it works the same way almost as the cursed status ailment from Dark Souls 1, in that once your meter fills completely and you're petrified, you die. You just die. Oh, it's not the right way to start this one out. You know what? I'll get poisoned if need be. I'm fine with that. I can heal through that. I have moss for that. There are a couple of those giant rock worms and a couple of more knights before we get to the boss's fog gate. And, of course, lizards, which you can kill to take the statues out. You just need something that will hit the lizard, which normally means you either have to aim a spell at them or you have to hit them with a bow. They can't hit me through the worm. The boss, I'm gonna try one time alone. I am gonna make one attempt at this boss on my own before I go fuck it and summon someone. I believe this boss is supposed to be designed with co-op in mind. I don't buy that shit. Because it's bad if you're doing it alone, and it's bad for a different reason if you're doing it with friends. Let's see if I can take this solo on my first attempt, though. Oh, fuck this fight. Oh, god damn, I hate this fight so much. God, atrocious piece of shit fight. All 3 of them can jump off a cliff. Fuck, I hate this fight and whoever designed it. It's so bad. It is so awful. Fuck this fight. So as you can see from my frustration, I'm not an easy person to rattle. The first attempt didn't go so well. The second attempt did not go so well. Attempts at doing this fight solo did not go so well. And to add to that, there is nobody around to summon. So I either do this fight solo or... well, there is no or. I'm not gonna leave a fight unbeaten, even if it is this atrocious piece of shit fight. Okay, we're gonna go after the archer first. Good, he didn't roll through it this time. Lovely. I'll trade hits with your enormous ass arrows and your rapier. Fuck. Ugh. Magically evade Hovel's dragon tooth? Sure. I can trade hits with them for a while. If I do it for too long, they'll wear me down because they do way more damage than I do. They can apply... oop! I might die trying to escape. God damn it. And they're still you with your rapier. They do more damage than me. They can apply way, way more pressure. It's a 3 versus 1 fight. They have way more health. And the thing that pisses me off the most is that starting around a little bit less than half health on each of them, they can just pop an Estus Flask, which means your little hit-and-run tactics, where you kind of kite them around and use the terrain to your advantage and do circuits around the arena until you find the perfect opportunity to do damage. Damage comes few and far between with these guys, your attempts at hitting them, I mean, they can just pop an Estus at low health. So it's like you patiently wait them out and try to kite them around and take little pot shots, do hit and runs, and it's like, oh, look, they hit an Estus, and now all the damage that I've done in the past 2 minutes is evaporating. Oh god damn, I hate this fight so much. The best advice I can give for doing this fight solo, yes, taking that archer out. Nope, not yet. He's probably gonna heal as well. There we go. Now we've gotten it down to a 2-on-1. The trick, as far as best I can ascertain, is just using the terrain to your advantage and being patient. And being patient with this fight is really difficult, because it is purpose-built to put you on tilt. And it is unfair as shit. I'll give it credit for this much. It is difficult. It's real difficult to do alone. It's trivial if you have phantoms, which is why I think the excuse that it's designed around co-op is shit. Because the moment you can divide them up with phantoms, this fight becomes nothing. And if you don't have phantoms, it becomes complete bullshit. I hate this fight. This might be the first time a Souls boss has ever made me even come close to raging. Ugh. It's hard for all the wrong reasons, though. And it's not because it's a 3 versus 1. It's not because it's a lopsided fight. 2 of the best fights in the entire game, in the entire series rather, are 2 versus 1s. Ornstein and Smo and the Man-Eaters. Those are designed, though. Those have game design elements in them. They are designed in such a way as to be fair, despite putting you against multiple opponents. They don't just maul you non-stop and make you hope for an opportunity that then evaporates to them healing. They're designed to cover each other in interesting ways while still not being overbearing for the player. This is just, let's take 3 things that are already in-game and put them in a one-on-one room, beef them up a little bit. It's fucking lazy. That's one of the worst things about this, is how fucking lazy this fight is. They aren't even unique enemies. They don't have unique movesets. They don't do anything interesting. Now it's just down to Havel. We will parry the shit out of him and be done with this fight. I hate this fight. Solo or co-op, because it's either unfair as shit or it's way, way too easy and way, way too uninteresting. There we go. Oh, so you just basically want to isolate one, burn him down as hard as you possibly can, and then try to separate the 2 melee ones. Oh, goddamn, I hate that. The only good part of this fight is the terrain. The only aspect of game design going on in that fight is the way you can use the terrain to pick them off and create openings. I think one of the only cool things you could say about the bosses is the idea that they are the reason that you keep finding all of these empty chests in Shulva and in the Dragon's Sanctum. Which I don't think we've seen too much yet, but we'll see it more later. You come across these rooms that, there are 5 empty chests in a room. And they're all Graverobbers who came down here just to loot the city. That's the only good thing about this fight, aside from the fact that the terrain is good and that it's optional if you don't want to deal with the bullshit. They single-handedly bring down the rest of the DLC, which is otherwise 10 out of 10 great. Genuinely great. That's an awful boss, though. Poorly designed, lazy. Instead of making an interesting fight, they just stack the odds really heavily against you. The healing drives me insane, but we are done. The rest of the DLC, especially the rest of the bosses here in the DLC, are genuinely great. So, we've gotten the worst part out of the way. I wish it didn't exist. I wish it didn't have to drag down the rest of a good experience, but it's there. Whatever, it's done. For now, thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one. Next time, we'll probably be back for the finale.